Hello YouTube and welcome back to Tylo or Bust. I'm Mike Braedley and let's get right into it. So today we're gonna actually get our lander out to Tylo, at least that's the plan. And so we need to talk about what I'm gonna need to do in order to do that. So I've done a little testing off screen, not in this save, in one of my other saves. And I've come to the solution, or come to the decision, that this is actually all we need. We don't need some big lander stage. We just need to get this guy into orbit of Kerbin, of Kerbin, and then we can attach a transfer stage to this top docking port here. So, is there anything else I need to do to this guy first, though? I think the answer to that is yes, I do need to take these guys off, and replace these with these much larger ones. Most things reattached, but not these. And with that, I think we are ready to go to Tylo. So we'll have post-commentary Mike join you on the launch pad and go from there. Oh, and one more thing. Clear the crew. They don't need to be going. So, all this video is running super fast, 10 times normal speed. Let's hope this launch goes well. Now, seeing as how I know exactly what happens, I could give some spoilers, but we'll just wait for this to get a little higher and see how things go. So, again, standard launch. The only difference is I'm not going to be dropping off those external tanks because I kind of need them in order to get down to Tylo, in order to carry enough fuel. So, just checking to make sure that all those tanks are draining equally. I had some problems during my testing off screen that they wouldn't. And there we go, we kind of spin out, lose a little bit of control. Hopefully this is not a sign of things to come as far as going about this on Tylo. I'm hoping it's just aerodynamics at play here and not an inherent instability in the craft. Because if it is inherently unstable, then I'm going to have some problems. That extra 2 or 3 kilometers per second of delta V that I have might not be enough. But anyways, things have sorted themselves out. We're in actual space here, and time to get our orbit situated. So, just running that maneuver node and firing up the engines now. And yeah, so it doesn't really take much. We ran out of fuel in the outside tanks. That's okay because we still have at least enough fuel in that center tank to get us all the way into orbit. Okay guys, we're back and we're just about in orbit with our lander stage. A little couple more meters per second. That's good enough. So we're not exactly circular, but oh, no, I actually should bring that up. I may have to attach some batteries when I actually go to land this, because apparently I don't have quite enough charge. Although I should be charging here in a second. Okay, still not quite circular, but good enough. No, I'm not going to even bother changing the inclination, even though it is almost 2 degrees. We're just going to set up our transfer vehicle and get this guy off to Jool. So I didn't put you through the launch, or the pain of going through the launch of this thing. We're closing in on the lander, and you can't really tell from here, but my frame started to drop. I was getting maybe 15 frames a second, which isn't as bad as Scott Manley and his massive ships, but definitely noticeable on my end. So yeah, just a standard docking procedure. Get everything lined up. Make sure I'm actually behind the thing, and then move in close and get this guy docked. This always takes longer than I'd like, but just make sure don't go too fast and things don't get broken. I just in that orbital insertion stage, it's out of fuel now, and I get set up to do my transfer burn. Now I did multiple passes here. What I should have considered is because I'm going to spend so much time out towards the moon area, is that my phase angles are going to be wrong by the time I finally get ready for the final push out to Jool. So I end up, as you'll see later, about 65 degrees phase angle instead of the preferred 90 to 95. It's not a big problem, but it does mean I waste a lot of fuel later on trying to correct my burn. But anyways, we're just doing 2-minute burns here to start off. So that's the first burn done. I set up an alarm, well, no, not an alarm, just a warp helper to get me around the planet. Do another 2-minute burn. Again, this is all going 10 times normal speed, so 2 minutes is only 12 seconds. Yeah, if I had done this normally, I probably would have, or done this all normal speed, I probably would have cut basically all of it out. But I think this is kind of interesting. See how you can kind of maximize some of your thrust by using the Oberth effect. Scott Manley likes to talk about that a whole lot, so I decided to try it. But the next time I do try it, I'm going to be a little smarter about it and make sure I leave enough phase angle to begin with so that I don't go wasting fuel trying to correct my or do a mid-transfer correction or anything like that. Anyways, this is the second last burn, and this is where I waste the most amount of time, because as you can see in the top left, we're at 16 days, and once I do all this jiggling around with the maneuver node and start warping around, you will see, yeah, this is me just trying to optimize as best I can, but it's unfortunately a little too late. Yeah, so I warp around, and wow, that orbit just took 10 days, which is probably a good 10 degrees of phase angle, or something close to that. So that is why I have to waste a little bit of fuel, and I don't get my optimal ejection. Yeah, so I'll have to try and improve that the next time I go about doing a multi-pass burn. And just because this burn is going to take so long, I go to 4 times normal, or 4 times physical warp. Because otherwise I'm wasting everyone's time. And yeah, there we go. I had completed the burn. This mid-transfer burn to actually get an intercept. I didn't initially. as well as set up my encounter so that it's all nice and close. Now, I heard in one of Scott Manley's, one of the latest videos, that he prefers to come in basically over the pole so that I can do a nice cheap orbital inclination change at Jool near the Ep4 of Jool once he does his aerobraking. Personally, I prefer to get pretty close on the first try anyways. And here we go, some aerobraking here. I remembered to set my periaps a little lower than normal. This is periaps, as you can see here, is about 121 kilometers. A little bit better than that, but it's enough to get us captured in one pass. And then, yeah, just trying to set something up so that I can get a nice, easy capture with Tylo. I find I get a nice encounter with Val, which is going to kick us into a lower orbit, which is nice. Free orbital change, basically. And I pass much closer than I thought I would, but still far enough away that I don't risk impacting. We do one last change to get our orbit, or Ep4 down to near Tylo. And then, luckily, on our first orbit, I can set it up so that the next time I come around, I get an encounter with Tylo. So a little fooling around with maneuver nodes, see if I can efficiently change my encounter. Can't really raid here, but well, I do one change. I get my orbital inclination change done. And then I do, or at least some of it, I do a mid-transfer burn to better improve some stuff. Coming in pretty equatorially. And there we go. We have an encounter with Tylo. And so now it's just a matter of getting ourselves into orbit. And hopefully rendezvousing with the station, but alas, we are all almost out of fuel. I even have to resort to RCS to make sure that we have enough delta V to, or spend enough delta V to actually get us into a stable orbit. And we are, but that's about as good as it gets. I'll have to send out some refueling. And so that's what we do here in a second. Okay guys, we're back, and we're just about to get the third part of our little fuel train into stable orbit. As you can see down here, we've got ourselves most of the way into orbit, and we just need to circularize and then rendezvous with the other two stages that are right there, 53 kilometers ahead of us. And I just overcooked that burn because I wasn't paying attention. So let's fix that quickly. That's probably good right there. Maybe a little lower. Just so that I can catch up faster. That's good right there. I can fine trim that on the other side. So let's get to rendezvousing with this the other two sections here. So yeah, this is just your standard race around the planet until you catch up. Just standard stuff like orbital inclination fixes. Fix it right here. And then just a few adjustments to get ourselves a little closer. get myself down to about 3 kilometers, and then even better down to under a kilometer there, give or take. And so yeah, we're in a kilometer, kill our relative velocity, and get ourselves in a little closer. And again, if this all seems complicated, it's really not. You just have to remember to kill relative velocity and thrust towards your target once you're within about 5 kilometers. And just repeat as necessary. I like to use time warp just to get in closer a little quicker, and that way you can do fewer adjustments. And there we are into the sun, and we can see our target. We can set which port we want to connect to, and then it's fairly easy from here on out. And so here we are, just about to dock. I'm probably going to do another or new docking tutorial with this docking alignment indicator for anyone who's interested. But right now we're just going to get these guys docked together. This tool makes it so much easier once you know how to read it. So yeah, just line up those green lines with the white lines, and line up that big orange circle in the center as well, and then your yellow prograde jet vector in there at the same time. Once all three are lined up, you're pretty much good to go. Of course, this is a lot easier with the mech jib keeping me pointed directly at the target, but even without that, this docking alignment tool makes things so much easier. Docking first time, every time. At least I think that's what the slogan should be. And there we go. I did use a little bit of this fuel, still enough to deorbit this guy, so let's go ahead and do that. Kill those engines for now. And so I'll get this guy deorbited, and I'll be probably right back with you. I'm not sure if this is the end of the episode or not. But if it isn't, it'll only be a second. If it is the end of the episode, well, wait until next week when I take this first of 3 fuel loads out to Jool. Yeah, I'm gonna need a lot of fuel. So yeah, this is gonna be about it. We're just gonna watch this insertion stage fall back to the planet. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to continue watching, feel free to subscribe. And if you liked the episode, please leave a like. Those really help out the new channels. If you have any suggestions or comments, leave them down below. In any case, you've been watching Tylo or Bust. I'm Mike Braedley. I'll see you next time.